Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Going to be giving you my predicted 11 for Manchester United's game against Brentford at Old Trafford. The game is tonight. So I'm going to go with the 4-3-3 formation. I think Ralph Rangnick will go with the exact same lineup as he did against Chelsea last Thursday night. So the goalkeeper, David De Gea. David De Gea was in goal in Man United's 1-1 draw against Chelsea last Thursday night. De Gea made some very good saves in the first half of that game. De Gea has been sensational this season. He's regarded as one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Revert back to earlier on this year, he got named the Premier League's Player of the Month for January. Well, De Gea's won everything domestically at the football club and he's made over 500 appearances for Man United in all competitions. Earlier on this season, De Gea said, "I don't see myself away from Manchester United." That was prior to the Atletico Madrid game in the Champions League last 16. De Gea's contract at Manchester United expires next year. He receives £375,000 a week. This season has been his 11th season at the club, so reflecting on that, he's been a long-serving player. Right back, Diego Dalot. Diego Dalot played in the 1-1 draw against Chelsea last Thursday night. Weren't that good. Defensively poor. And he lacked that attacking intent. Dalot played well in the 3-1 defeat to Arsenal. He was unlucky not to score in that game because he hit the post twice. Dalot is our first choice right back under Ralph Rangnick. Do you think Dalot will leave Man United this summer because he's been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation before? Last season, Dalot had a loan spell with AC Milan, so reflecting on that, he gained some experience. Manchester United got Dalot from Porto. Man United paid around 19 million for him. We brought him in under the Jose Mourinho era. Dalot's contract expires next year. I don't think Bissaka will start this game. Bissaka recently picked up an injury. So yeah, I do think Dalot will retain his place. The two centre-backs, Victor Lindelof and Rafael Varan. Obviously, Harry Maguire is not available. He's out with injury for the season. There's other centre-halves who could possibly play. You know, we've got Eric Bailly. You know, he hasn't played for a long time. You know, we've got Phil Jones. But, you know, Jones, you know, doesn't really get in the team. So yeah, I do think it will be Lindelof and Rafael Varan. To be fair to Lindelof, he's had his good games this season. Despite that though, I've still got my reservations about him. I think Lindelof will stay at Man United this summer, but he could leave next year. Lindelof has been at the club for over 4 years. Man United got him from Benfica back in 2017 for 31 million. Lindelof's under contract with the club until 2024. Rafael Varan, he recovered from injury not so long ago. Varane's endured quite a few injuries since he signed for Man United. He's endured a lot of injuries in his career though overall. Varane played against Chelsea last Thursday night. I thought he was pretty good. Brought the ball out well from the back and he was effective in the air. Well, most of the time when Varane plays, he seems to make the difference. He is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced and he's got a good pedigree behind him, because look at the amount of silverware Varane won when he was a Real Madrid player. He was a long-serving player at Real Madrid. Man United got Varane last year. Varane's under contract with Man United until 2025. There's an option of a further year. Left back, Alex Telles. Telles is the only option at left back because obviously Luke Shaw is out for the season with injury. Revert back to Telles. Telles has been very poor in the last few months. Telles played against Chelsea last Thursday night and he was poor. But there again, you know, Telles has had his good games under Rangnick. Telles has appeared to be our first choice left back under Rangnick. Telles will leave Man United this summer. I reckon this season is his last season at the club. Man United got Telles from Porto back in 2020. Got him in a deal worth 15.4 million. The three centre midfielders, Matic, McTominay and Bruno Fernandez. Obviously, Pogba, he's not available. Pogba's out for the season. Fred, he's recently been injured as well, but I think Fred is now back. So really, Matic, McTominay and that are the only options. Matic, I've been impressed with him recently. Matic played well against his former club last Thursday night. Matic did get the assist for Cristiano Ronaldo's goal. It was a lovely pass by Matic to pick out Ronaldo. Matic also got the assist for the Ronaldo goal in the 3-1 defeat to Arsenal. Matic has started a lot of games recently, obviously with the injury crisis Man United have had. Matic isn't one of Man United's first choice midfielders, but despite that he's still being given his opportunities. He's the only predominant centre defensive midfielder Man United have got at the moment. We know that Matic is leaving Man United this summer because revert back to a few weeks ago, Matic announced he will be leaving Man United this summer despite having 12 months on his contract. Matic has been at the club for over 4 years. Manchester United got him back in 2017 from Chelsea, got him in a deal worth 40 million. McTominay, I don't think he's good enough to represent the club. He's still young, McTominay, though. He's got a lot of development in him and he has had his good games at United. It was only earlier on this season that I said that McTominay had been one of our best performers under Rangnick. The best games I've seen McTominay have was the 6-2 game against Leeds when McTominay scored twice. And he played very well in Man United's 5-1 win against Leeds at the start of this season. There again, he played well against Aston Villa in the Cup. McTominay has been part of the club for a long time. Well, revert back to 2020, he committed his future to the club because he signed a 5-year contract. Bruno Fernandez. He played against Chelsea last Thursday night. Poor again. Fernandez weren't that good in the 3-1 defeat to Arsenal. Fernandez missed a penalty in that game. We've struggled to get the best out of Fernandez since Ronaldo re-signed for the club. I thought last season Bruno Fernandez was superb, but this season hasn't been superb. He's still a good player overall. He's one of our best players and he's certainly one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. Earlier on this season, Fernandez signed a new contract with Man United until 2026 as an option of a further year. Fernandez now receives around £240,000 a week. When he signed the contract, his wages doubled. Fernandez has been a United player for over 2 years. Manchester United got him from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. Man United initially paid around £47 million. Left wing, Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford, I thought, was poor against Chelsea last Thursday night. Rashford has endured a lot of poor games this season. He is a good player though overall. Rashford for me has not been the same player since he had that operation on his shoulder. A lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect. Rashford missed the first 2 months of this season with that shoulder problem, and earlier on this season had a minor leg injury. I think Marcus Rashford will stay at Man United this summer, but he could leave next year. He has been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation, especially throughout the course of this season. Earlier on this season, it said Manchester United want Marcus Rashford to stay at the club this summer despite his retro run of form. Earlier on this season, Rashford told his friends he wants to quit Man United. Rashford has been part of the club for a long time, came up our academy. He's been a Manchester United player since the age of 7 and he broke into our senior squad back in 2016. On the right wing, Anthony Elanga. Obviously Jadon Sancho, he's not available at the moment. Jadon Sancho is out with tonsillitis. Elanga, he did play against Chelsea last Thursday, weren't that good. He played in the 3-1 defeat to Arsenal the other week. Elanga, he did have a couple of good chances in that game, so he was unlucky not to score. Elanga's had poor games, but he's also enjoyed a lot of good games since he broke into our first team squad. Elanga has been part of the club for a while. He joined Man United's academy at the age of 12. He's got a contract with Man United until 2026 as an option of a further year. Earlier on this season, Rangnick did mention that Anthony Elanga was close to leaving. And the centre forward, I'm going to go with Cristiano Ronaldo. Obviously Edison Cavani's been out with injury, but I heard he could be available for this game, Cavani. But I think we'll go with Ronaldo anyway. Ronaldo, he rescued Manchester United against Chelsea last Thursday night. You know, Ronaldo scored the second half equaliser. It was a fine strike. It was Ronaldo's 17th Premier League goal since he re-signed for the club. And he's now got 23 goals in all competitions. Ronaldo, of course, scored in the 3-1 defeat to Arsenal. Ronaldo missed a 4-0 defeat to Liverpool at Anfield because Ronaldo had announced that his baby son had passed away. That was upsetting. Don't forget, prior to the kick-off at Anfield between Liverpool and Man United, there was a 7-minute applause for Ronaldo. Since Ronaldo re-signed for the club, he's got 2 hat-tricks. He got a hat-trick against Norwich at Old Trafford. That was his 60th hat-trick in his career. And he got a hat-trick in the 3-2 win against Tottenham at Old Trafford. Ronaldo could possibly leave Man United this summer. Ronaldo's contract at the club expires next year. There's an option to extend for a further year. Ronaldo is the highest earner at the club. Ronaldo receives £480,000 a week. Man United re-signed Ronaldo last summer from Juventus. Man United paid around 12.9 million up front. There was add-ons included as well. That raising it up to over 19 million. Like I updated you this morning, a report from the Mirror have said that Ronaldo could make a shock return to Real Madrid. Ronaldo did really well in his first spell with Real Madrid. He was with Real Madrid for around 10 years. Real Madrid got him in 2009 from Man United. You know, Real Madrid paid £80 million. Anyway, Man United have set a price tag of around 10 million for Ronaldo. So anyway, that's how I think Man United will line up tonight against Brentford. As you all know, Manchester United are coming into this game on the back of a 1-1 draw against Chelsea. Man United are winless in the last 3 Premier League games. You know, Man United have got 3 games remaining. Manchester United beat Brentford at the Brentford Community Stadium 3-1 earlier on this season. As for Brentford, they're coming into this game on the back of a 0-0 draw against Tottenham. Don't forget, this season has been Brentford's first ever season in the Premier League. I think they've enjoyed a pretty good season to their standards. Prior to this season, the last time Brentford were in the top flight was back in 1947, which is around 75 years ago now. Like I said, I do know a lot of the players that Brentford have got. The best player Brentford have got is Ivan Toney. They've got Nathan Young Coombs, Max Haygarth, Brian Mbumo, he's a very good attacking player. Sergei Karnos, he's a good midfielder. He's out with injury at the moment for Brentford. They've got Joshua De Silva, Shandon Baptiste, he's good. Christian Norgard. Brentford have Christian Eriksen. Brentford signed Christian Eriksen from Inter Milan back in January. Don't forget, before, Christian Eriksen played for Tottenham and he was a long-serving player when he was at Tottenham. We've got Pontus Jansson. He's a former Leeds United player. Rico Henry, they've got Finn Stevens. Ethan Pinnock. Pinnock is out with injury at the moment. I do know some of the goalkeepers that Brentford have got. They've got Matthew Cox, Alvaro Fernandez, and they've got a goalkeeper called David Raya. So they are three of Brentford's goalkeepers. They've also got a player called Matthias Jensen. So they're a lot of the players that Brentford do have. The manager of Brentford is Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank has been the Brentford manager for over 3 years. Brentford appointed him in back in October 2018. He's under contract with Brentford until 2025. Before he was the manager of Brentford, he was the Brentford assistant. Before then, he managed Bromby. And before, managed Denmark's under 16s, under 17s and under 19s. So there you go. Earlier on today, I gave you the news on Matt Judge. Matt Judge has resigned. He will not play a role in the summer transfer window. Matt Judge was at Manchester United for 8 years. And obviously, you know the news regarding Erik ten Hag. You know, Erik ten Hag, a few weeks ago, got officially announced as Manchester United's new permanent manager. Erik ten Hag, of course, will replace Ralf Rangnick. You know, ten Hag signed a 3-year contract with an option of a further year. And Man United agreed the compensation with Ajax. For ten Hag, you know, the compensation was below 2 million. You know, ten Hag is Man United's 5th permanent manager since Ferguson. Ten Hag, as you all know, is getting a transfer budget of between 100 and 150 million this summer. You know, there's a lot of players that Ten Hag wants to bring in. He's also going to get rid of a lot of players as well. So reflecting on that, he will generate money. And you know the news regarding Ralf Rangnick. Rangnick's got just 3 games left as Manchester United's interim manager. Not so long ago, Ralf Rangnick got appointed as the new manager of Austria. Rangnick signed a 2-year contract, but Rangnick will continue in a consultancy role at Man United until 2024. You know, Rangnick is the interim manager till the end of the season, like I've just said. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do. Consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.